Hey everyone, Great Squatch here. Welcome to the Week of Trials, May 19, 2023. This is the final week of Season of Defiance, and for this week, you have the Immortal Submachine Gun. It is about to get nerfed, but enjoy it for this last week, and it's not getting nerfed that hard. Like, if you still have a god roll, it's still going to be good. What is the map for this week? It is Dead Cliffs. Woo! This map is great. I always love, one side of the map gaining full control and just having no way to push them. But I digress. Yay, we're back here. MS 3D Paint. Woo! So this map is small. This map will be fast. You will either see a lot of apes or a lot of people sitting and holding long angles. There will almost always be no in between. So where are the spawns for this map? We have one spawn here in the lockers. I hope that is big enough that you all can see. Spawn 1. We can just go S1. The nice thing about this spawn, you gain immediate access to holding this angle and coming out here and holding this angle. Why is this strong? Well, because here will be the capture point right on your side of the map. This side of the map is the strong side. If you get this spawn, you should be winning, unless you guys peek out and challenge. But I digress. Right, this is S1 first spawn. You've seen it on the screen, right? This is a good spot. You really want to keep an eye on these chokes, and these chokes, those are the only points of entry. There is nowhere else they can get in, and point spawns right here, so you can take advantage of that and prevent them from entering the chokes, right? That's why you see a lot of snipers in this map, is because these are such long angles, right? Because as if they commit to these, you're gonna have a long time to shoot at them, and they have no cover. You probably have cover all over through here. There's cover. Now, second spawn right there. Now, the thing about this spawn is you have control to a large portion of the map, but is it an important portion? Does it give you any advantages? Not really, right? Like I said, you get to walk down a lot of chokes that are easily coverable by this side, and they will always get there first. Well, they should, right? You might get down here first, but this is a low ground right here, and now you're fighting a losing battle from the low ground to the high ground, and they have cover. Now, what about this side of the map? This side of the map. Well, you have this big building here. Doesn't mean anything in trials. So heavy ammo spawns here. I didn't get any video for that, so I'm sorry. Just gonna have to trust me. It's right next to this big building in the back that you cannot miss. All right, so that is one advantage to being on this side, is you might get heavy, but honestly, being on this side, you have more control of the choke, right? Because anywhere you commit here, they're gonna have easy line of sights for you, and it's really hard to get out of the way. Plus, a sniper could sit back here and see all the way into there onto heavy and cover it without ever being exposed, and it's really hard to take care of them. So even though you have heavy on your side of the map, your easily controllable side of the map, they can still control it from their side with ease without any troubles. So there's really no advantages for this spawn. So my thoughts is you need to move fast. You need to pick a side that you're going to go to, like whether this choke or this choke. You need to get there fast, and you need to set up fast. And by setup, I mean like placing nades, doing stuff to prevent them from like not holding a choke quite as hard, because this map is kind of rough. Not gonna lie, I don't like this map, but one thing I do like is the map will be fast. Every round will be really, really quick because of how small the map is. So you're not gonna really be sitting around, hopefully, the whole time, like most games are. I don't even know why this map's in the game. This map sucks in sixes, right? It's literally just a spawn camp, and in trials, right, this side has such a strength because there's only 3 of you, and you can't cover all angles at the same time. And if you miss one random angle that they're staring at you from, you're gonna die to a sniper or get rushed by shotguns. Like I said, there's no real in between. You probably won't see a lot of players running a lot of mid range. It'll either be long range or short range, and be wary of the long range, right? Because like I said, they're gonna be holding super long angles, like this here. Oh man, my mouse is not on point today, my mouse skills. Or they could be looking over here. They could also be looking down here, right? Or if you're on this side, this is probably the only safe place to cover the choke from, is here, and that's about it. You could sit behind this. This is a box right here, or like a pillar. You could sit behind it, but it's very easy to get a grenade behind that box and kill whoever's behind it. So as you can see, there's not really any chokes that aren't covered by this side, and you have one measly point that you could actually cover without being shot at by anybody that's like safe. If somebody comes to challenge you here or here, or well, this one doesn't matter, but here, they really don't have anywhere to go and you get a free shot on them. But you know, subclasses on this map, you're really kind of anything works, because this map's going to be so fast. Most people probably won't get a super in this map unless they're playing hella slow, but I can guarantee you for the majority of the player base, it's going to be fast maps. So, you know, anything that has these types of nades. So you're gonna want spike nades. What I mean by spike nades are nades that stick out of the wall like this, and they have a effective blast radius or whatever effect that they do that goes out like straight out from the nade. Now, why do I say this? Right? Because on this map, you are going to want, like, say you're holding this choke and somebody's behind that pillar there, you could throw a grenade. Wow, it's going to affect anybody behind that pillar. So it has such a huge effect on the flow of this game, right? And the same works for the opposite side, right? You know somebody's behind that box. Oh, cool, I threw a nade. Now they can't sit behind that box unless they destroy it. So spike nades are going to be really strong. So you have Trip Mine on Gunslinger, which is super strong with Young Arkmar Spines. You have Void Spikes, do a similar thing. Plus invisibility will be really strong in this map just because of how small the map is. Your radar won't really be hindered that much. Now Revenant doesn't have a spike nade, but it does have Cold Snaps and it does have Dusk Field, which are both really strong at really hard choke points, right? This is just for denial and this is for pushing, right? But don't do this unless you actually know what this grenade does. And Arc has lightning nades, right? Not as strong, not crazy strong on Hunter, but still, like I said, spike nades are going to be the king of this map, so take advantage of them. That's really all I could say about subclasses. I could show you the other ones, like, but all the nades are the same on every class. And realistically, like I said, the maps are going to be going so fast, at least in terms of like when they end, that really the only thing that's going to matter is your grenade usage. So really any subclass is really viable due to that point. But I would say big winners here. You got Gunslinger. It's going to be really good. You don't really need Strand because it's not that big of a map that you need to get around fast. Night Stalker will be really good because of invisibility, right? Arc might be good, but I would really say Revenant. Revenant is really strong, right? It just at the denial and the capability of freezing, and you might get your super. Right, a lot of Hunter supers are on pretty short cooldowns, like Blade Barrage, Deadfall Tether, and Revenant are on pretty short cooldowns, so you could get them if the game actually draws out. But like I said, you're pretty much not going to be depending on supers. It's mainly just grenade play and gunplay. So for Titan, obviously the obvious choices are Sentinel, right? You have access to spike nades. You do have your shield throw. You do have shoulder charge. Remember, this is getting a nerf next season, so you know, might be wise to start practicing your shield throws. Having bubble, you might actually be able to get it, maybe. And then Striker Titan, this is the strongest subclass in the game. Even Bungie has said that this is the strongest subclass in the game, right? Because you got barricades, shoulder charge, right? If you need to ape, and then you got your good old lightning nades, and you get 2 of them. What's not to like about this subclass? Like, you can control a large portion of this map, which is tiny, with a lot of these abilities. Now, there might be a play for Berserker, right? You will never get your super, but with Towering Barricade and Shackle Nades, you might be able to catch a few people off guard with Suspension. But I would say, unless you know you're going to get them, it's probably not worth running this. And then for good old Warlock. Now, what might be a really good build is Swarmers with a bunch of Threadlings, right? You're probably not going to get your super, but just the ability to spawn so many Threadlings might be really strong on this map because there's not a lot of areas where Threadlings can't get to, and a lot of the choke points are so clustered that you might be able to take advantage of this. So Strand might actually be really good on Warlock. Voidwalker will be really good, and I say that because you got something like Child of the Old Gods. You get any damage on an enemy, this thing is going to go and seek them out, which is going to either force them from cover or they're going to have to kill it. So it means that they're focusing on Child of the Old Gods. And again, you have Void Spike Nades. You probably won't get your super, but it is still going to be pretty strong. Dawnblade, always a top tier pick, right? You don't even have to use trip mine. Trip mines are just good because if you have max intellect, you might get your well and nobody else will get a super. So it might be really strong. You have the movement options. Also, you do have firebolts. Like you have the enhanced firebolts from Touch of Flame and then from the artifact, so that might be really strong. So Dawnblade is definitely a big winner for this map. Shadebinder as well. You got Cold Snap nades, and if you have Omninance, or this is Omninance, I can't say Omninance gloves, right? You have the advantages of just enhanced Cold Snap grenades, and these are really good if you're trying to push a choke because they have to run from it, run or jump, and it pretty much forces them out of position, right? And you also have stuff like Frost Pulse, casting a rift, so if somebody's pushing you, you can catch them off guard with a freezing rift, and now they're frozen and you just have to melee them and they die, right? So Shadebinder might be really good. Again, you will not get your super, but it could be a really strong pick. Stormcaller also might be really strong due to, what is it? The slide, the electric slide. You know, while sliding, activate your charge melee ability to blink forward, calling down lightning strikes that jolt targets as you rematerialize. This might be really good if like they're all bunched up and you can get a big melee hit. I wouldn't necessarily trust it, but it could be good. And again, you have spike nades or light spike type nades, which are lightning nades that could be really good on this map. You could possibly get a storm or chaos reach, but I wouldn't trust it. So really winners are, I would say, probably Voidwalker, Dawnblade, and Shadebinder. Doesn't mean the others aren't usable, but they could be usable in the right hand. This is the map for this week, the week of May 19th, 2023. Remember, next week is Season of the Deep, and Trials will be next week too. So don't forget about that. Trials is starting immediately because there's no power grind for the next season. So hope to see you all there. Actually, I probably won't be there. I'm gonna make the video, but I'm gonna be doing the dungeon. So I hope you guys have a good weekend of Trials. Thank you guys. If you hung around this long, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you for your time.